Is whiskey a magic potion? Well, according to a 7th century Scottish manuscript, whiskey will heal wounds, polish brass, sharpen the wits, make a sad man happy, preserve youth, help women to conceive, make good wine out of stale, and much, much more. So, is whiskey a magic potion? Throughout the Victorian era, grain whiskey was well favoured for the production of bespoke whiskies. In 1885, Andrew Usher, William Sanderson and John Crabbe, you know this guy, he also invented Crabbe's ginger wine. Well, they decided they had to produce their own whiskey. So they bought a 10-acre pig farm to the west of Edinburgh to build their own distillery. Production started in 1887, some 2 years later, with the production of 800,000 gallons of whiskey per year, selling for 1 shilling per gallon. In the 1970s and 1980s, production topped at 8 million gallons of whiskey. In 1989, they realised that they were not able to sell all of the whiskey and that they had produced, and the distillery was closed. In 1998, the distillery was sold to Guinness, Diageo and the Edrington Group, who reopened the distillery. They now produce about 20 million gallons of grain whiskey a year. This was used mainly in all the Johnnie Walker blends, as well as Smirnoff Vodka. The surplus is sold to China, South America and India to enhance their own spirits. Some barrels are kept aside, however, for the luxury market. And several well-aged North British grains have been enjoyed by the few that can afford it. This version of the North British grain is bottled by Cooper's Choice, part of the Vintage Whisky Group by Andrew Crook. It is a 26-year-old distilled in 1991, creating about 300 bottles. It has a wonderful nose of wildflowers, followed by a hearty malt, oat and caramel aroma. Its palate is heavy caramel, with notes of dried fruit and vanilla, and has a long flowery aftertaste with notes of licorice. And yes, this whiskey is definitely a magic potion.